talking about musicians and cool things and stuff. It's the Holly and Josh Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Harley and Josh Show, where this week we'll be talking about a little studio called Pirate Studios, and also the effect of blockchain on the future of the music industry, as well as some music from Underline The Sky, Easttown Pirates, and Manderville. How are you doing, Harley? More importantly,
actually, no, I'm pretty terrible today.
You look stressed, man. You look well stressed.
I have had a very stressful morning of nothing going as to plan. I had about 4 things to do, and I'd got 1.5 of them done.
Were they all musical things?
No.
No.
Actually,
makes it worse.
Well, yeah, I had to empty the van, which I had to do. I couldn't drive away into it. So it was the full van.
So was it full of gear?
Yeah. I gigged on Saturday, which was at the Boar's Head in Braintree. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Yeah, we talked about it on the show last week.
It was a really cool gig. It was a bit of a homecoming gig for me. I knew the guys there from when I used to play there with Mohawk and Space Rocks quite regularly. And sort of turned up, and they all kind of greeted me with a big hug, and it was really nice. Mm-hmm. It was a great gig. Cool. And we went down really well as well.
Nice.
It was absolutely packed by the moment we got there.
Good. That's always helpful.
But do you ever do this when you turn up turn up to a gig? And we got there quite early. We got there sort of 7:15. And we didn't go on till 9:30. We had plenty of time to set up, and we were set up really quite quickly. But we're like, I hope these people don't go before we start.
Yeah.
Because there's always that worry that, especially on an evening, that people will come in for a drink, they'll finish their drink, they'll go home.
Yeah. Or they didn't expect there to be a band, and then suddenly it's loud, and people go, "Oh, I'm leaving."
Yeah. So that was a bit of a worry for me, but I managed to get people to stay.
I think it depends on the song you start off with a lot of the time. If you start off with a really long version of Comfortably Numb, like we were just listening to, then people are going to be like, "Oh, great." But if you suddenly start off with Uptown Funk or something like you guys do, then
that's it. And the thing I think I probably mentioned last week that in the past I've done gigs there. It's all been kind of heavy rocky stuff, and it's gone down really well there. And the worry that if you hit them with some Justin Timberlake, that they might not kind of feel the same way. And it actually was much the opposite. People really loved it.
All right, they preferred it. They're like, "Oh, finally!"
And I got a shout out to Bernie, one of the staff there, who's an absolute legend.
Sanders.
Yes.
We're talking about the 1%.
Yeah. He's always talking about the 1%.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like,
chill out, Bernie.
Carlsberg, please.
Yeah, don't feel the burn.
Feel the burn. And yeah, no, he was one of the guys that I was really happy to see again. But he came up to me like, "Right, what are you doing for Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve next year?"
Right, correct.
I was like, "Oh, okay, this is good. This is really good."
Yeah.
And it turns out they'd already got bookings anyway.
Right, crazy.
So they're quite well planned, but they want to. They really like us. They want us back, which is exactly what you want from a first gig.
Yes, it is.
So we really enjoyed that. It was a long travel home because Braintree all the way to Felixstowe. It was about an hour's drive. So that was
isn't it? Yeah.
Bit of a long ting. But that was really, really quite enjoyable. That was
rather.
So yeah, I was absolutely exhausted because
everything go to plan on that one, because the last time we were talking about a chart attack, you were like, "Oh, it's already turned up." No, you turned up.
Oh, it was it started on. We have a group chat because every band has a group chat, and it started off on Tuesday, and I went, right, how are we all getting there, and when are we getting there?
Yeah.
And it was all right because Oscar had already played the night before with Soap Your Auntie there at the Railway.
Yeah, so I heard that was great.
And of course, they are awesome band. He said it was a really good gig, but so he was already home. He was already ready for it, and so we all turned up at the right time. Actually, I told Toby off. Actually, we said we'd be there at 7, and I turned up at 7:15, and he was already set up. And I was like, "Man, what are you playing at? We have an understanding that we'll say we'll get there at 7, and then we'll both turn up about 15-20 minutes late, and it'll be fine. What are you doing getting there on time?"
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, but that was great. So, it was awesome. The highlight actually of that gig Actually, let's talk about my Friday night, because I had a good Friday night.
Oh, good.
I don't know if you've seen, Toby has been posting some stuff.
Some drum covers.
Yes, so Toby Houghton, he's got his first drum cover coming out this evening.
Ooh.
I don't know where he's going to post it to, whether it's going to be onto a YouTube channel, which he hasn't yet made, or onto Facebook, or what. And he's put a little taster on his Instagram of him absolutely tearing it over one of the new Ellie Goulding songs. He's also doing playing another song that's been released tonight, an Anderson .Paak song, which is just
from the new album.
Yes,
ooh, very
absolute
nice.
groove. It was all last minute actually. He messaged me, I think Wednesday. I was like, I really want to do this song as a drum cover.
Right.
Can we get in the studio sometime? I was like, yeah, sure. Well, I'll let's see when we got some time. Fair enough, la-di-da-di-da. And he texted me the next day. He's like, actually, I want to do this other track. I was like, okay, yeah, we'll do that, man. He's like, when do you want to do it? And he's like, well, I'm pretty sure I know. Bear in mind, he'd heard these songs for the first time Wednesday and Thursday. He was like, I think I know it well enough. And I was like, well, I've just had a new microphone turn up, and I'm really excited about this. Rainer was talking about the Audix microphones because he was at the London Drum Show last week,
right?
And he was talking about how great the Audix mics are, and I was like, yeah, no, I've just ordered one, the D6 kick drum mic, which is just a powerhouse of a microphone.
Brought that in, yeah.
And it completely transformed our whole sound live.
You've been using it live as well.
Yes, we used it live, and it's so tight and so punchy that we could hear it on stage really well, and it didn't interfere with anything. It was just really well done. But I took it into the studio and we did some recordings. I got a bit experimental with the way I recorded it, and it all just paid off really well. I'm really happy with the drum sound. So check that out tonight. I'll be chucking it up on my pages and stuff, sharing it around as much as possible, because I'm really proud of the sound.
On the Harley Cotton Musician page.
Harley Cotton Musician, yep, that's the one. And maybe we'll chuck it on the Harley and Josh show page as well throughout the week as well.
We should probably chuck Rainer's up then. We can't be favoritism.
I think we have already chucked his drum covers up there and various versions of them. So somewhere they're probably lost in the ether of the infinite page. But
the ether of the infinite page, that was deep, man.
Oh yes, that's me, deep.
If you're nothing if not deep, Harley.
That's my favourite thing at the moment, is saying something whilst you've got a mouthful and then waiting for a response. So you have to
just waiting for me to do the so what? A little spit take, yeah.
What? I wasn't quick enough to so I was up. I finished at the studio Friday night, like 1 o'clock, and had to be in West End Music for
we're West End Music. We're caught in a trap. No looking back. You've got to answer the phone like that. We're West End Music.
I will do that. Maybe that's our hold music. Can you write some hold music for us?
I didn't write that. I wouldn't get any royalties for that. That's already lost in music.
Fair. But, so I was there for the lessons in the morning, so I hadn't had a lot of sleep. I was absolutely exhausted. So come Sunday, I did nothing. Actually, no. I went to the new Whiff Waff in
Woof Waff?
I think it's called Whiff Waff.
Waff Whiff.
What used to be Grand Central, they've rebranded, and they're now like a games bar.
Wow.
Yeah, you got to check this out. They've got they've got some arcade machines, they've got table tennis, they've got pool and stuff like that. And we're playing there on the 7th of December, so we are going to be shooting some
videos.
Well, shooting some music around the room. We're not going to be filming it. We might film it.
Right.
So yeah, I went in there and sort of checked out the new place. So that's really cool. So check that out.
Whiff Waff on Whiff Waff on the waterfront.
Yeah, Whiff Waff on the waterfront.
Yeah, they've thought about this, haven't they?
Yeah. And actually, funnily enough, our singer Elliot, he works there now.
What a coincidence!
It is a real coincidence.
Is Layla still booking the bands for it there?
She is, I believe. Yes.
My goodness. She's getting the monopoly now, isn't she?
Oh yes. She's.
She must be stopped.
Yeah, she's taking over. She's Kingpin.
Oh, crikey, Wilson, Layla Fisk.
Yeah. She's just not quite fat and bald. She's much the opposite.
I say not quite.
I'm digging a hole. I'm digging a hole.
Fixing a hole.
So yeah, that's all I did Sunday, and was like, I'll leave loading the van till this morning. And then I woke up and went, oh no, I've got loads of stuff to do. And didn't have time to do it. Had to renew my DBS, which wouldn't let me do that. And so I've been stressing around this morning, getting everything done. And I've just made it here, and I'm only now having breakfast. So excuse me if you hear the crunching of cornflakes.
Yeah, it's funny because he's talking whilst also eating, but you can't actually hear it. I mean, it's quite amazing. No, oh God, I feel like I want to throw up hearing that. I'm going to take my headphones off. Oh God, nice man.
Podcast gold.
So, yeah, no, it's funny because I'm constantly just still having my gear around in my van. Like most of the time, just having to unload an entire gig's worth of gear by yourself is never on the top of your priority list. You're like, oh please.
I was lucky with loading in actually. Oscar's always said, if you need a hand with loading, because he lives up the road, he goes, pick me up first and we'll load in. But every time since we've said that, it's been a case of picking up from Ipswich, because he's been getting the train into Ipswich.
Right, yeah.
So it's been a case of picking him up on the way to the gig. Right. So it's the first time he's actually been able to help out, and with that, just having an extra pair of hands to help out with that kind of thing.
Halves the time, doesn't it?
It does. It makes life so much easier.
If it's a useful person.
Yes, sometimes.
Some people just like, what should I pick up next? I'm just like, use your initiative.
Yes, yeah. I also am very, very strict when it comes to like people, like friends or fans of the show helping pack down, because you never know how much someone's had to drink until they fall over with your guitar.
Exactly. And you don't want to have that argument with a mate. No,
it's not worth losing a friendship from someone trying to do something nice, and that's the worst thing. You go, I know you're trying to help, but now I have to spend 200 quid on getting a new neck on my guitar, and stuff like that. So if you are a fan of music, if you want to help, that's really nice. And
just talk us up to the bar. Literally, just say to the bar, book them again. Like,
that's the most helpful thing you can do. We really, appreciate the help, but don't be offended if we go, nah, it's cool, we got this. Yeah. It's because sometimes, we've got this because we're used to doing it every gig,
and we're sober.
Yeah. I do have a friend who loves
Lucky
helping.
you.
I've got a friend. And he's always helping to pack down. He comes to loads of gigs. And I will say to him, you can help us pack down if you're driving.
Right.
Because he will sometimes drive, he'll sometimes drink. I say, if you're drinking, no. Because, if your balance goes, I don't... Also, it's not even a case of,
What's got to do with whether he's got money or not?
Yeah.
If your bank balance is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also another thing to do with... Wait, what?
If your balance is bad, I mean, if you're in the red, I don't want you touching my gear. You might run off with it.
Well, there's always that.
I'll sell it, yeah.
But, we've got heavy equipment.
Yeah.
And I'm always telling people when people who pick up my subs, I'm like, no, that's a 2-man lift. That's 40 kilos. I said, if you hurt yourself, insurance won't cover it, because insurance, like health and safety rules and regulations are... Anything under 30 kilos is a 1-man lift. Anything over is a 2-man lift. If one person lifts that, does their back in, they're not covered. And if you, not a band member who's not on my insurance, do yourself in, there's nothing I can do. You can't, and I can still be sued. But there's no backup for that, And it's not worth your back. So that's my rant for the day.
That's it. You can't take that one off the bingo card. It wasn't. It wasn't me.
Don't you hate that, Josh?
Not really. No, I'm not really fussed about it. Yeah.
I want you to make me a jingle, Josh.
A jingle about what?
Can we play bingo here?
What can we play it with ourselves?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. We'll sort of have a jingo bingle jingle.
A jingo bingo.
That concludes our news section. What Harley did Harley do stuff? Yes, Harley did. Let's find out. Did. I don't want to know whether jingo is a word for something else, because it might turn out to be something offensive to someone.
I would not want to...
Don't play it in Australia.
Yeah, jingo.
You're flaming jingo?
Maybe jingo is just an Australian jingle.
Maybe. Play a little jingo, mate.
Because we're coming up to Christmas, can I request a Christmas gift from you?
Of course.
Can I have a jingo from you?
A jingo? So I've got to do it in Australian accent.
Can you give me an Australian jingle?
Harley's done things. Well done, mate. I think I've already done like 3 of those.
Yeah, but no, I want a full-on masterpiece.
Rock and roll, man.
For Christmas.
Crikey. Okay.
Australian masterpiece.
All right,
opera.
Well, you've called me out live on air, so
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
kind of.
You can't say no.
Now. Yeah.
Can it be an Australian opera?
On Ozpra. Yeah.
Might.
Vegemite. All right. Okay. Well, so I'll make you an Ozpra.
An Ozpra.
Yeah.
I did not think of that.
So yeah, I had quite a nice little eventful weekend and week last week. So I had all my gigs done by Friday, which was wonderful because that meant I had a weekend.
That's mad.
So I had on Thursday I was playing a wedding up at Woodford Hall. Oh, wait a sec. Woodhall Manor, is that right? It's in Woodbridge.
Yeah, Hoseley kind of way.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so Melton kind of past Sutton who? Sutton where? Sutton how? Sutton who?
Everyone asks Sutton who, but no one asks Sutton how. It's really sad.
It's because it sounds so similar in Suffolk. Sutton how?
Actually, because where that is, it's at the roundabout where you go left to go to Rendlesham and you go right, isn't it?
Yes. So it felt like I was going to Old Jet. Felt like I was going to work.
And it was a Thursday as well. So
yeah,
it must
exactly.
have really messed with you.
Yeah.
But when bonfire night a few weeks ago, I had to go to Old Jet had to go to Area 51 to pick up some bits, and coming back there was a big forest fire around there.
Crikey!
Like just by the roundabout. And
really?
you could see trees on fire.
Man.
And I drove kind of through it, and there was embers hitting the road, and it was like one of those. There was a video going around of like someone driving through a forest fire, and it looked like they were just driving through.
Yeah.
And for a moment, it looked like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, a little bit terrified.
Your trees are on fire.
I was very glad I was driving.
That's terrifying.
I think they knew. The police were there and everything.
Excuse me, your tree is on fire.
Oh god, that'd be a bad bonfire night.
That would.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm glad I missed that then.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I escaped being on fire, and I was playing for Stephen Decker's wedding, which is I've never played at Woodhall Manor before. It was a really, really nice little place.
Have you not played there?
No, it was very, very swanky building. I had Murray, Rayner, and Rich with me.
Woo!
So I had the full band.
The 80.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so they've got sort of an outhouse style bit for their for where the reception and the ceremony happens.
Yeah.
And then there's the manor for sort of the hotel.
It's a lovely place, isn't
it? Really lovely old building. So yeah, nice easy little load in. Really fun set, because what I'd done beforehand, I'd researched a bunch of sort of 2, 3 or 4 chord songs that barely change the whole way through, and I was just like, right boys, this one's in C, it's a 1 6 4 5, off we go, and I just sort of play it, and that's
a good way to keep it fresh.
I've been doing that for years, but I haven't done it for a while.
Okay.
There's so many 12-bar blues ones that we've done where I've just been like, oh right, people will know this one because it's Sweet Home Chicago, or anything like Crossroads, Eric Clapton, so doing stuff with the blues jam that still happens every third Thursday of the month at the Duke of York has really helped me to just be like, okay, let's just jam this, it's easy. But I'm trying to do some more current songs, or just songs that are slightly more out of left field and less kind of expected of a 50s and rockabilly night. So we did a bit of Basket Case, bit of Green Day, and a little bit of All the Small Things, Blink 182.
Nice.
I did the bit Swung 'Em Up.
Yeah.
So it worked really nicely, and I didn't tell Raina we were doing that one, so I turned around and he's like, oh my god, I know this one.
Oh my god.
Exactly. So yeah,
More
it was
excited
quite
than
fun.
the crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the interesting thing with that kind of thing, though. So you've got these songs where you've not really rehearsed, but you've just played them multiple times. They say you've done that, and a lot of these songs you've done many months ago, maybe even years.
Yeah.
Have you found, as you've played them with the same band, that they've developed like catches and hooks, and there's almost a set structure where you've kind of formed it, but only ever in the gig situation, or does it change from time to change every night?
Yeah, I mean, there are certain ways that I've sung it, and there's certain ways that I've structured certain songs that aren't like the recordings. And I've also, because I'll go in, I'll be like, all right, I know the chords and I know the riff and I know the main melody, so I'll just make up the words.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, so the wrong words are the ones that are stuck in my head, and obviously they won't be the ones that are on the recording. So I'll just sort of have stuck with that. So the guys know the wrong lyric to the songs as well. So if they hear the actual like lyrics to it, they're like, that's wrong, and they don't know where the cues are.
I've had it likened before to a ball rolling down a sand dune.
Right.
Stay with me on this. You get a football. It's a nice big thing. It's round and people kick it, in case anyone doesn't know. But you've got like a sand dune, and you go, well, I don't know how this is going to go, but we know it's going to go in that direction roughly, and it'll roll, but it won't necessarily go in a straight line. It'll follow a
Meander.
bit. But the next ball will kind of be more likely to follow the groove that the previous ball left and stuff like that. And I've done it with songs like that, where we've with Space Rocks, we'd play songs and we'd never rehearse. We'd go, let's see how this goes, or maybe just once over in sound check, and then go, right. But then through the years, we've got a set structure. We go, and then by the end of it, we do it like this. But to the fact that if we have someone else in, we go, this is the structure, and we have to rehearse it because we've paved that path.
You haven't rehearsed it up to that point, so when you do rehearse, you're like, this is weird. Why do we do it like this?
Yeah. And the best thing is when you then listen to the original, go, wow, we don't play it anything like the original. It's completely lost.
It's usually faster.
Oh yeah, usually
Yeah. The original's usually slower. Like all the Cash songs we do, the Johnny Cash songs, the originals are so much slower than the way we play it, because we just always just like, right, we got to get through this one, get to the next one, get to the next one, get to the next hit. You know, like so people know what they're listening to.
With Chart Attack, we find it's almost the opposite. Problem we have. Because we're playing to tracks where we play it to the original speed, we sometimes find it's too slow. When bands play songs live, they do speed it up, and even like the original bands play their own songs faster in a live situation to give it more energy. So we played like Niles Barkley Crazy, great song, but it's quite slow. And we're like, this hasn't got the energy it needs for a live show. So, and when we watch back on other performances, they are sped up, and we're like, oh, okay, we should just crank it a little bit.
Yeah. So you got to refresh the set every once in a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, Friday was the interesting thing.
Well, we were talking about you. Sorry.
Shut up. So Thursday, actually, I was like before we played, I was having a bit of a panic because I was supposed to be live on Radio Suffolk with Leslie Dolphin over a phone interview. So I turn up to Whittle Manor, and there's no signal at all. Absolutely no signal. And I've got like emails coming in. No, not emails. I just suddenly randomly got a missed call text, so that, like, you know, and a voicemail from like the BBC sitting there going, we can't get hold of you, and it was like 3 minutes before I was supposed to be on air. So I'm frantically running around trying to find their Wi-Fi password. So I finally got their Wi-Fi password and could do Wi-Fi calling on this. So I was just sitting there while the guys are all setting everything up, and I'm sitting there live on the radio just talking about children in need, because the next day we were at Worsted Park.
You were, yeah.
For Leslie Dolphin's tea party, raising money for children in need, and it was fun. It's the third year in the row we've done that.
Awesome.
Which is mad.
Were you in the mansion or the atrium?
The atrium.
Okay,
the
nice.
Atrium, yeah.
Nice big room.
Yeah, exactly. I had Dave Butcher and Dave Whiting doing the sound for me. Was the BBC A team.
They are very good.
Yeah, they're wonderful blokes. They know me very well now because they've done a lot of sessions with me, so they know how easy it is to work with us, because I mean we got there, had 5 minutes to sit up and sound check, and we were done. And they're sort of like, what do you want in your monitors? And I'm like, anything's good. I don't usually have monitors, so it's fine. Yeah,
it's like your birthday.
Ambassador, you spoil us. So we got 3 sets out of that one, I think. We were alongside the pop chorus, local guys that we doing sort of contemporary songs in a choir.
Awesome.
Also alongside a couple of opera singers that were doing some very, very, very moving things. But yeah, we were
nothing Australian.
No Osborough, I'm afraid. No, sorry, mate. But we were kind of I suppose. I don't know. We were just the kind of thing that every hour we were supposed to sort of re-energize it a bit, because it wouldn't get like depressing, but it would get like
Does it have its heavy moments?
Heavy moments, yeah, exactly. So yeah, It was nice. We sort of, it was a real honour to be able to be asked back 3 years in a row. Whether they'll ask us again, I don't know. But I mean, it's we've been very honoured to be able to be asked a bunch of times. So Murray did that with me, and it was really nice just to sort of like hang out with all the other people. Like Charlie Haylock was doing some poetry and a lot of sort of reading in his Suffolk accent. You may know him from that sort of. There was a video on Facebook going around for ages, just with from BBC Look East, and he was just talking about Suffolk words, and it was just like an old bloke just going on the ha or blow on a hurley, so it's just a guy describing what certain Suffolkisms mean. So I thought that was really fun. But yeah, so it was all my stuff done for the weekend, and on Saturday I was freed up to be able to go up to my cousin Tom Billington's birthday party, which he is a musician himself. He was one of the sort of the reasons why I got quite into it.
Have you spoken about him before?
Yes, there was a band called Mohawk I've talked about on here before, which I'll probably play on the show.
Mohair?
Not Mohawk, yes, sorry, Mohair, and I was into both those bands about the same time.
They're the same sort of era, aren't they?
Yeah, so I was like, I was always like, oh crikey, how do they know each other? Because they're really messing with me, right? And so it was cool because he had some of Tom, my cousin, had some of the people from his band, from Mohair, there at the party, and they were up playing with him. Mo were totally Mo there, and also they had. Kieran Jeremiah, who was the bass player for my cousin Tom's band, and also the keyboard player for The Feeling, and we were just up there with the band members from The Feeling and from Mohair, and I was fronting a song for his birthday, and I was like, this is weird. This is like I'm fronting a band with band members that I used to listen to when I was 16. Yeah, it's really cool. So
that's awesome.
Nice. Yeah, real nice community vibe. My little cousin. I shouldn't call him little cousin. He's the same height as me now. Second cousin.
And you're not little.
I know. He got up and sung in front of everybody, and he's just got this wonderful voice, and it was really nice because I've known him. He's 15 now, so I've known him ever since he was tiny. And your height. That's
exactly.
Mental. He's gonna outgrow me, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've known him since he was a youngster and actual baby. So seeing him getting up there and there were actually women screaming because his voice was so good, I was like, this is weird. I'm gonna go now. So yeah,
that's awesome.
Props, Zach.
That sounds like a great party.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was up in Watford though, so we had to. It's the drive of going to London, and you're like, I'm usually doing this for work. It's weird.
Did you go with Frankie?
Yeah. Frankie and I went.
And your mum?
My mother. Yeah, awesome. My mother and my auntie was there. So it was really nice to just sort of, when you get a Saturday off as a musician, it's like making the most of it.
It's nice to be able to make it a family time as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's actually, I had a cancellation for last Saturday. I didn't have a gig. I just got a cancellation. So I was like, all right, a rare moment like that. And it's also my cousin's birthday. Like, you kind of feel like you've got to snap it up. You can't just say no.
Yeah.
If you did say no, you're like, oh, you idiot. Because you'd just be sitting there playing PS4 like, oh no, you should have been seeing your family.
Yeah.
You got that voice in your head. Right, okay, yeah, so that was my week. Oh boy. I did things. Oh no, I didn't. Oh, did things and stuff happened, boy. What did I do? Well, I was going to play you some new music. Well, I have to admit that there was a song that I wanted to play in this section, so we had a bit of a problem with playing it because the file got corrupt. So I'm going to play another song from a band that's playing locally, very, very good friends of ours.
Yeah.
Stick around for the gig list because they're playing with Reno and Rome and Polly Haynes this weekend at Through Eyes Monkeys. This is Underline The Sky with This Is Gospel. Check it out.
Awesome stuff.
That was This Is Gospel and On the Sky. So you said that was a Panic at the Disco cover, right?
I think it's a fairly new one. Yeah, I didn't know actually. It was Raina's girlfriend that played it. We were driving somewhere. She's like, "Can you play the new Panic at the Disco song?" I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Wow, this is really good."
Yeah.
But
that's good. So I think they released that earlier this year, so that's available on their iTunes and stuff like this. So
awesome.
Yeah. So I think it's time to get on to a little bit of music news. Thank you for the music news. So after doing a little
New
bit.
jingle, tick it off.
Exactly. For my research this morning, I basically every Monday I do a big old deep dive into what's been going on in the music industry as a sort of a whole, as a worldwide thing. I try to focus a lot on stuff that affects us in the UK and in Europe. But this week's one was actually quite interesting because it flagged up a company I'd not heard of before. So a UK music tech firm, Pirate Studios, they've secured a strategic investment of 20 million from London-based Thales Capital.
That's pretty strategic.
Yeah, it's pretty strategic, right? So Pirate Studios, you heard of them before?
No.
They are a Bristol...
Or should I say nar?
Nar. They are a Bristol-based company operating they operate fully automated, self-service, 24-hour music studios.
I wonder if that's... Sorry, I lost when I said Pirate Studios in Bristol because it's... Captain Blackbeard was from Bristol.
Right.
So maybe that was it, something
maybe
intentional.
So
Sorry.
Pirate has built a platform that offers online booking, 24-hour key code access, automated recording and live streaming, as well as complete IoT control of their studios. So it's kind of basically like how kind of Easy Gym would be, so that there's, you go to Easy Gym, operated by EasyJet, you just have a card you ping in, or like Anytime Fitness, there's nobody actually working there. If you know how to use, you have an induction on how to use the gear, and then that's it, you've done it. Kind of like Zip Van, like you get them in London, or Zip Car. So it's kind of you have a membership fee to this company, and then they just let you use their studio, which I think is a really great thing for people of our generation, which know how to use the recording studio as well as how to play an instrument and make a song.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Right? How crazy is that?
For years, I mean, I've been a recording engineer for a long time, and before I had Area 51, I would go to studios and go, "Can I use your studio as an engineer?"
Because I can't afford. Well, it's the thing, because I've done it before. I'm like, I can't afford to actually pay for the studio space. I mean, for the engineer in the studio, because it's like, I only want to buy this, hire this for the room or just for the gear.
It's not only that, but it's also engineers work differently, and I've done it before where I've gone into a session and they're going down a different path of, I want to record it with this direction, with this shapes of sounds, and I'll go, but that's not how I could like to do it. And it's really awkward because when I've been to I've been to studios in Ipswich where I've gone, "Can I engineer?" They go, "We don't really use our own guys because we need to know that you know what you're doing." I'm like, well, I will show you that I know what I'm doing. How do these engineers get a job here in the first place? Because if you're not going to let me try out the equipment and show you that I know what I'm doing, how does anyone show that they know what they're doing? And
I suppose you're invited along, aren't you? You're invited to apply and things like this. So it's slightly different. So I think this does fill a gap in the market, which is good. Apparently, Pirate operates 350 studios in 21 locations, including London, New York, and Berlin, and plans to use the investment to fund its expansion across the UK, Germany, and the US. So I think this would be a good thing to be able to say, bring one to Ipswich, please. That would be great. Or somewhere a bit closer than London. Because that's the closest one they've got is London. But I mean, that would be great. I haven't looked into pricings yet, but
interesting to see like what savings you're making on a studio like that. Like compared to going to somewhere like Punch, somewhere like Area 51, where you're paying for an engineer for the day. Whether you're paying, where you do save money, or whether you're paying for the privilege of being able to have it done your way as well.
I mean, there is a lot to be said for having an engineer there who is an outside ear, because I mean the amount of songs that I have written, performed and produced, and I listen back to it and I'm just like, if you had just had a second ear on that, it would sound great, or you just had somebody else to just produce it, or just to handle a certain part of it. So yeah, it's a good thing to be able to have something like this where you have full control, but sometimes I think you do need to have a professional engineer.
I little secret insider, I have been working on some original material, and I've essentially recorded drums, bass and vocals.
Very nice.
I haven't actually recorded drums yet, but I programmed them in, and but then I've sent them to a friend, a producer of mine, and gone, do stuff with this. Put some other sounds in there. I don't want guitar on it. No offense, but I want some other sounds.
On behalf
on
of all guitarists, I'm very offended.
That's fine. It's okay because I don't need you. Basically, I found a nice big set of pedal that makes a massive sound. So on bass, and it kind of covers a lot of the real estate what the guitars do. And until
sort of bandwidth.
Yeah, so I just want some other sort of synthy stuff to go in with it, and I want that input from someone who's not me.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm going with that.
But I mean, so I expect
sometimes.
there's probably a lot of people like Jared Threaten using sort of studios like this.
Yeah.
Hark back to last week's.
I've been talking about that a lot this week. It's been the talk of.
Anybody listening in heard? Did you listen last week? Did you hear about Jared Threaten and the fake band and selling out in quote marks?
I
shows?
did say to someone in a forum.
Please tweet us or talk to us on the Facebook and let us know what you thought of that story.
This sounds like it'd be a really cool art piece. Imagine, you got a fake band, and you go, they've got a gig, they've only got a few tickets left, they are the next big thing, and have it like hyped up on all the big radio stations, so Radio 1, be there this night, and everyone turns up, and the curtains open, and it's a giant mirror.
Whoa.
Would still be a bit better gig than the Threaten.
Still would be, yeah. I saw the music video, you're not wrong.
We shouldn't diss, but it's ridiculous. It's so funny. It is very, very funny. But anyway.
Absolutely mental. But yeah, anyway, so I thought that was a really interesting old thought that as hopefully we can see if we can maybe get a petition together, see if we can say to Pirate Studios, bring something to Ipswich, because they also do other types of things. They do rehearsal rooms as well as studios, mastering rooms, and mastering suites. Cool. So you can you don't have to just record stuff. You can just take stuff there to master.
And that's a good point. There are a lot of recording studios in the Suffolk area, possibly more than perhaps there needs to be. But there again, recording studios, they vary in sort of the quality and what sound they produce depending on the room. But rehearsal rooms, there are a few places that do rehearsals, but I mean, we had trouble with Rehearsal Wednesday trying to find somewhere where we can rehearse. There's a lot of bands and they need a lot of space to be able to rehearse, and
exactly. Not everybody's got a garage.
Important. No.
Nice neighbours.
Yeah.
Most of them don't. But yeah, so that was something that I thought was interesting and that we can talk about, eh? So let's have a little extra. So the extra part of the show that we like to chuck in every once in a while is Thing I Thought About This Morning.
Thing I thought about this morning.
Words. So you know about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies?
No.
A little bit.
Yeah, I do. I know.
Yeah. And I thought this when I was researching this. I was like, well, Harley will know a little bit more.
I'm a nerd. I know things.
Yes,
like
exactly.
That,
so, Bitcoin has sort of suffered quite a big dip last week. I think it was valued at about 4.8 thousand pounds per one Bitcoin, but it's just dropped down to about 4,000 last week. So it's splitting off. There's sort of like, as I was sort of doing a little bit of research, was apparently about civil wars between the Bitcoin ABC, Bitcoin SV, Ripple, and Ethereum. So lots of different cryptocurrencies are sort of fighting out to be the one at top one. Bitcoin is up there right now, but it's such a movable market. It's going to change all the time.
Yeah.
What I actually stay with me here, the reason why I'm talking about this, so blockchain is similar to Bitcoin, or a crypto thing. It's basically the kind of the platform that helps cryptocurrencies be a thing. So it's central banking basically is saying that, so wealth and the money and what gives a currency a value is based on where the currency is centralized. So in the UK, the sterling, we've got the Bank of England and things like this. So and euro, you've got the Bank of Europe. So you've got a place where it is. Whereas cryptocurrencies are spread across the whole world, and their blockchain is what does that. Basically, it decentralizes it. So it sort of makes it a little less easy to hack and kind of harder for people to steal. So what I'm talking about this because on a music-based show is blockchain itself also has no central database. and it's distributed all its info online. So there is actually talk about using the blockchain software in the music industry to store rights information. So that whenever a song is played, like on a radio show like ours, the data is, just like an ISRC code or anything like this. It is basically it's handled so much quicker if it was part of a blockchain.
Right.
So
it's not having to go to a specific place to reclaim the data that's needs to work.
I mean, it's the thing is because by design a blockchain, I'm reading here, is resistant to modification of the data. It is an open distributed ledger that can record transactions between two parties efficiently and in a verifiable and permanent way. For use as a distributed ledger, a blockchain is typically managed by a peer-to-peer network, kind of like LimeWire and FrostWire and was it BearShare before. A network collectively adhering to a protocol for internode communication, so just between two places, and validating new blocks. So if somebody wanted to add something to it, it has to go past a lot of things. You can't just sort of hack into a blockchain and just add something so that you can nick something from it. It has to sort of get past a lot of peer-to-peer distribution stuff. So where's the actual import? So the important thing that I was reading here on this was it saying it won't solve problems that are happening now, but more future problems. So people that are writing stuff now won't have the same problems as, say, Black Sabbath or the Beatles or Led Zeppelin had when people would just use their music without permission.
Yeah.
And it happens at a lot of political rallies as well, I've been noticing.
Yes,
right?
There's been a lot of talk about that in recent months. A lot of people who don't seem to like Trump. I don't get that myself, but
yeah,
I should take that bit back. But people say please don't use. Was it Pharrell Williams? He wasn't okay with.
I think Guns N' Roses as well.
Oh yeah.
Trying to use "Welcome to the Jungle," I think it was.
Metallica were absolutely fine with the US government using their songs as a form of torture in Guantanamo Bay.
Wow. But I mean, if they'd a blockchain, they'd have got the rights for each song.
Their words were, as long as we're getting paid for the use of it, it's not our. Their thing was, it's not their place to say how the music is used because
Which I don't know. It's fair. It's you can't stop that stuff from happening. I don't know. It's difficult, isn't it? Once you've written something and you've released it, how it's used is you can't control that. You can try, but it won't happen.
I can't remember who the artist was, but some musician said, they're like, oh, what do you think about people using your song in this way? Or, what do you think about people singing this song in a different context? And they were like, well, it's not my song. I wrote it. As soon as that song is finished and penned and gone out there, that's everyone's song. Yeah, I get the rights to it. I own the monetary rights to it, and that's fair enough to a point. But I don't have the control to tell people how to listen to my song and how to perceive how it goes down.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because otherwise, you're not actually getting the idea of what a song is for then.
No.
Because you make it's just like a piece of property and just like, like something fast food or something.
Yeah.
It's not actually what it's for. But so I don't know. Blockchain could be quite interesting. What was it saying? So more efficiency for collecting societies means more money for creators and rights holders. The reason businesses don't pay right away isn't usually because they don't know where to send a check, though. It's because they'd rather delay doing so in order to preserve their cash flow. Yeah. So, you may change the process of how rights are distributed or who is owed what.
It might not necessarily fix it because the problem is the
people,
GUI,
not the software.
The GUI mass in front of the computer screen.
Yeah, exactly, not the computer. But so I thought that was an interesting thing. What do you guys think? Let us know. Do you think there should be more in place to help protect rights holders, or do you think it's not going to change anything? start a conversation with us.
Yeah.
We're on we've got a Facebook page, so you can just find us at Harley and Josh, and we're also on Twitter individually as at Lockabillies and at Harley C. But we are also now on Instagram. So
we are.
Yeah, we are. So check us out on Instagram, just at Harley and Josh Show, and let us know on there what you guys think. Before we do anything else and get onto the gig list, I want to play some music by a new band that I found. I believe they're from Chelmsford. They're from Essex, I know that. Band from Manderville. They're playing with Rubber Jaw this weekend. Check them out. This is Double Denim.
Awesome.
Sutton Hill.
That was Manderville with Double Denim. And this is Rainer Vandel with... Oh, it's not going to play.
Sutton Hill.
Yeah. Thank you for the writing there. The speak in there, Raina.
Please send us voice messages on at Harley and Josh Show.
Yeah, do it as much as you can. We'll get you on the radio. So, interesting thing that we were doing this week on the Facebook game, which we do every single week, is show us a song with a day of the week and the title or lyrics, which was loads of fun. So, obviously, Rob Lewis jumped on it immediately.
Oh, of course.
I thought it was going to be him straight away. But he is Stormy Monday, great sort of jazz standard. Ruby Tuesday, Gloomy Sunday, they were all his. Lynn Beale did that. I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's grey, and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you. It's Friday. I'm in love.
Oh,
that's a good one.
that's sweet.
That covers all the bases, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Drive In Saturday. That's David Bowie, I believe, isn't it? From Bridget Givot. Justin Demir. I once wrote a song in college called "Wishing You a Happy Wednesday." Wednesday and Thursday don't get much of a look in, do they? No, they don't.
Chris Haste. He has come through with one for every day of the week, which is pretty sick. So is my dad, Steve. Yeah.
Steve and Harley, the Cockney Rebels. Oliver Bakeman has, we've talked about Oliver a bunch.
Oddball and the Shifty Twins.
Yes, Oddball and the Shifty Twins.
Shifty Wind.
Shifty Wins. The Shifty Wins for the wins. The Darkness, Friday night. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, I haven't listened
That's
to that.
That's exactly how it goes.
Yeah, that was really a Blue Monday. Matthew Paul. How does it feel? Sunday, Blooming Sunday. Bloody. Are they a bloody?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no, it's not about actual. Yeah, it's about actual blood. Yeah, U2 track. I used to love that track. That was Dan Dolman, Mr. McFluff said that one. And Kat Dickinson obviously put a Colourblind Hedgehogs track in there. Downtown Driving, just another Saturday night. Rolling to Town by Colourblind Hedgehogs.
Did no one do I Don't Like Mondays?
No, because that's a horrible song.
I mean, it is.
Down. No.
I've heard they're looking for a new singer. You should really.
Are they really?
You should apply.
Brilliant.
Yeah, the other ones. Bob Geldof's too busy saving the world or something.
Oh, of course, yeah. They've got one song. Oh, good. I could learn that.
Yeah.
Make some money.
Tribute gig. So,
we've got another voice message from Raina, and I feel like I haven't listened to it off air, so I don't know if I...
Go to the other side of the room, I will talk, and you can check it. Okay, so,
right.
Yeah, as he's checking that, so, if you have... Oh, that's... I think that's okay, it's alright. Is that okay?
I guess.
Okay, let's hear it, because I want more people to send in their voice notes.
Yeah, more of those,
and this is the quality we're dealing with.
Harley and Josh Show.
Brilliant. Yeah, more of that, please, guys. So I had a nice little thing just before we do the gig list, is that my old bandmates from Who's Driving Bears Driving, we're having a big old bandmates and new meet-up to go and watch Underline The Sky this weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's going to be a proper little blast from the past from about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not 10 years ago. I was with them 2011 to 2013. So...
Nice.
So that's 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
Nice, that's on.
So let's get into the gig list.
Let's do that.
So coming up on Friday, the Falcon have got a launch party with you and yours favourite Chart Attack band called Chart Attack.
Yes, we are the best Chart Attack band there is.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently.
That's this Friday, 23rd November, so that's old Bowman's, isn't it?
Yes, what used to be Bowman's on the corner of, is it Princess Street?
Yes,
Queen
it's
Street?
near Music
Something
World
like
and
that.
Subway.
Yeah. So we're going to be there.
Other sandwiches are available.
We also have James Nunn's going to be playing a set
Yes,
earlier on, so he's playing, I believe, until
Full
8
disclosure,
o'clock.
I did get asked to do that,
Yeah.
and they couldn't afford us.
Well, fair enough. That's fair enough.
They were like, "Yeah, we want this," and also Layla's booking for here now. I was like, "Really?"
Yeah.
Layla.
Yeah. So
Wilson Fisk. So yeah. Also going on Friday night, the Colburn Hedgehogs are 25 years old now.
Wow.
So they are having a 25th.
they don't look a
birthday
day
party.
over 20.
No, 1,000 years old. They are having a birthday party this Friday, 23rd November, at the Grand Old Duke of York, with old members and new. So
I think it's a little bit ironic with that name, that pub, because it will not fit 10,000 men.
no, it is no, and it is on top of the hill though, and that is a trek to get up there
And back down.
But yeah, well, down's easier. Just roll, mate. If you've had a couple
roll
drinks.
with it.
So yeah, don't be put off. There won't be 10,000 people there, because we've just turned a couple people off.
Yeah.
So yeah, get yourself up there, and that'll be a really nice celebration of a wonderful musical career they've had.
I did make Nick feel very old when I told him that when the band formed, I was 1.
I know. I would have been what? Oh, crikey! I've forgotten how old I am now. I would have been 4.
Something like that?
Yeah.
3?
I'd be 4.
4.
Crikey. Yeah.
Wow.
Keep
You're
going,
old.
boys.
You're
Keep
really
going.
old, man.
Yeah, right. Ouch. Three-Wise Monkeys are presenting Underline The Sky, as we played earlier with This Is Gospel, as well as Reno and Rome and Polly Haynes. That's just like a big Harley and Josh show.
Magic.
Smash it out the park, that one. So I'm going down to that one with Who's Driving Bears Driving Guys.
Nice.
So that's Friday 23rd November. Get down to that one in Colchester. Also, we've just played Manderville, so they are releasing a new single. I tried to get my hands on it, but actually they figured out that they have only just finished recording it this weekend, so they haven't actually finished doing it yet.
Right, okay.
So they're releasing it on Friday, and yeah.
That's okay.
That's great. I like that. I like the pressure there. So Manderville, they're doing a single launch with Rubber Jaw, wonderful people, Drama Llamas. Right, how great is that? And the WDR DJs. That's Saturday, November 24th at the Basement in Chelmsford. So yeah, that'll be a great show. Get yourself down to that. Hot Tramp are live in Dereham at Gemini. So they are playing Saturday, November 24th at 8:30. So check that one out. It's a bit of a way out, but it's a Hot Tramp show, so it's worth it.
Worth it.
Pet Needs, Saving Scarlet, Amir, and Memory Boy are all going to be playing Saturday as well at the University of Essex. I've got a gig there next week, which I'll tell you about next week. Stay tuned. What else we got? Kane, In My Disguise, and Dismanibus are playing here at the Smokehouse. That is Saturday, November 24th at 7:25. So that's here at Smokehouse. I don't know how much ticket entry is, but it's usually quite cheap, like £3, £4, something like that. What else? Neanderthal, as well as Support, are playing at the Green Street Brew House. I've checked out the lineup for that one. It's a lot of sort of thrash and deathcore stuff. So if you're into your heavier side of things, the production on them was just so massive. It wouldn't have worked for the radio show today.
Right.
But yeah, that, if you like your heavier style, if you like a bit of Nile, you'll like Neanderthal. So check them out.
It's a good river, mate.
So Easttown Pirates, most importantly, have a album launch coming up this week. So we are going to play some Easttown Pirates to finish off the show today.
I'm going to be there.
Exactly.
I've got my ticket. I think they've still got some tickets left, so contact those guys.
So that's the last gig that I'm going to be talking about this weekend, because we want to get as much of this song in as possible. Because I've listened to a couple of the tracks from the album so far. I absolutely love it. Sean, the bass player, came over to my house a little while back and had a double bass lesson with me.
Ooh,
because he
romantic.
donated towards the crowdfunding for our album.
Oh,
so I
okay.
gave him a double bass lesson, and he's a great bass player, and these are some great tracks on this album. I really recommend getting down to that. That's at the John Peel. No, it's not the John Peel Centre, is it? It is at the John Peel Centre. This Saturday, 24th of November. Get your tickets, because they are running out.
Yes.
Seriously running out, so make sure you get on them today. This is the title track. I think we want to use a different one.
Oh, okay.
Because I was going to use Thorn. That's my favourite one, but it's not the title track. We've got to let them know what the album's called, innit? So let's go for this one here. Ship of Fools, ladies and gentlemen. Please subscribe. Go on Instagram. Enjoy. We'll see you next week, all right?
Yeah, boy. Bye.